Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another great edition of my Grue Rume Show. And I'm very excited to interview my next guest. She is a horror icon and a scream queen, Devanny Pinn. And she's going to be starring in the latest horror film that's going to be coming out called Frost. So we're going to talk to her all about Frost and about her background in horror and being the horror legend that she is. I am Rocco Cross. I am the host at Stutters. I am the host of the Grue Room. And my interview with Devanny will be coming up very soon. This is my Grue Room, and welcome to my nightmare. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome to Grue, and thanks so much for taking time out of your night and coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Oh, no, thank you for having me. I love your site, so I'm really glad to be here.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah. Good, right? We're good? Okay.
Definitely. That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, I love that. Cool.
The first thing I want to start out by asking you is something I saw you did. Like you were in a couple VH1 shows, the Rock of Love and Scream Queens, and I wanted to ask how your experience was with both of those shows.
In a word, short. I was kicked off the first day on Rock of Love Show. That's how great of a reality star I am. And Scream Queens, I made it all the way through. Like, we started taping, and then they were like, we don't actually want any real Scream Queens on this. We want to like make a show about finding a Scream Queen. So we thought it'd be cool to have one on here, but we were wrong. And I was like, and that was my reality career.
Oh my God. No, that's horrible.
Yeah. I did a lot of I did a lot of final round type stuff. Like I did Shot at Love 2, I did Paris Hilton's New Best Friend. I did a bunch of stuff for a while. I was like on a couple of shows where they ask random people about celebrities and like a way in. So I talked a lot of shit on the Kardashians, which, you know, is easy to do. But ultimately, yeah, I'm just really noisy and I'm from Jersey. So I think it made for like good reality TV in theory. But as far as actually doing the show, no, apparently not. I'm just gonna stick to movies where I belong.
Hey, you know, that's really awesome being noisy and from Jersey. I'm from Philadelphia, so.
Oh, what's up? I'm from Cherry Hill.
Oh, get out, really?
Yeah, I used to park. I probably did something stupid and embarrassing right in your neighborhood. I used to go to the waterfront a lot.
Yeah.
Do you remember the fucking phone party? Oh, can I curse on here?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So the phone parties, I almost drowned in the phone party in the waterfront in Philly. That is a true story.
Oh my God, are you serious?
I was so excited. You know, there's like stupid teen, like, you know, the like teenage parties where like, you know, the adults stand on one side and the other, you know, the kids the rest. Yeah. Well, I was like, you know, trying to hang and be cool. And I'm like, oh, phone party, I'm gonna go look really good and like be hot and go there. Dumb bitch that I am, like went straight to the middle of the phone party and then realized I was too tipsy and too short to be in the phone party and like couldn't find my way out. Literally almost drowned. So I don't party fucking bars. What are we talking? I'm sorry. Frost comes out. Cleopatra's not gonna let me do any more press. They're gonna be like, forget it. No. Talking about partying in Philly. Anyway, yes. What's up?
Well, you know, like, hey, Philly, Jersey, it's only a short drive right over the bridge. And
that's right.
Are you Italian too?
Of course, I am full-fledged Guido, 100%.
Same.
So yeah. You know when I realized that was weird? When Jersey Shore came on, and I'm like, this is a great show.
Yeah.
I had to stop spray tanning. I had to like stop dyeing my hair black. It was a whole thing. What a bummer. But yeah.
So I have to ask this: do you call it gravy or sauce?
It's sauce. It's sauce. No.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I know. There's like a huge debate, which is gravy, which is sauce. Gravy is the stuff that you put on turkey, and sauce is the stuff you put on your spaghetti. Let's just clear that up right now. That's
okay. Yeah.
Sorry, if you're still watching this interview.
Yeah. Okay. I'll get to your film now.
We're gonna have to have a sidebar and have a whole different conversation.
I know exactly.
It's so funny. Okay.
So, how did you wind up getting to be part of this latest horror film called Frost?
Okay, good question. So, it was the height of the pandemic, and I was actually pregnant. So, yes, fun fact that we'll get to that. Geez. So most Italian interview I've done so far. Okay, so yes. Height of the pandemic, I had shot like 4 or 5 movies already that year, believe it or not. But the lockdowns were really cracking, and I was starting to show. And so I thought I was going to be like done for the rest, but just, park it for a while until things got better, or the baby. But a colleague of mine, James Bresic, was brokering a deal with Cleopatra to do a contained movie, and they wanted to do a true story. So he was like kind of scouring the internet for really interesting stories to tell, and he came across an article, and it's been fun trying to promote it because I can't say what the article said because that's the big spoiler at the end of the movie. Gosh. Have you seen it yet?
No.
Oh my gosh. So this is going to be fun. Okay. Let's see. I should have sent you the film. Shoot. Okay. So spoilers-ish. We'll do an ish version. So this movie starts out very like PG. It kind of starts like a lame horror movie that you think everything's going to happen.
Yeah.
And very Lifetime movie, and it's like pregnant chick and her dad rekindling, and you're like, oh man. And then shit goes down. Because if you know anything about my films, or if you don't, I do like the most intense material out there. Like
I know. I've seen a lot of your films.
Okay. Well, thank you. Yay.
Yes.
So you should know that's how it stays. But long story short, there is a really, really horrific true story that happened. And so James Bresic, the EP, got the green light from Cleopatra to tell it, and he just texted me and with this article and said, "Are you down?" And the article went into detail of what this really horrific event that happened was, and I was like, "It's a little much even for me," but yeah, I'm down. So I did it, and it was a really, really physical shoot. And we'll have to do this interview again with a little less Philly and a little more like you actually know what I'm talking about for this movie, because it's an experience actually.
Yeah.
It's a really, really intense film. So so long story short, very physical thing. It's mostly just me through the whole movie. I do co-star with Vernon Wells for a part of it, and he's phenomenal. So good. We wanted to work on something meaty together for a long time. So, so this is an opportunity, for us to really, really play opposite. He's phenomenal in it. He's really, really good in the film. And so basically shit gets more and more and more and more intense, and it kind of really just doesn't let up the whole movie. And in the end, we've managed to offend everyone so far, which is, I think, a real accomplishment in our genre. Like generally people can tell what's going to happen. No one's guessed this so far, and everyone thinks I'm a sicko weirdo afterwards. So I think at the end of the day, a day's work, I'm very satisfied with what we were able to accomplish.
Okay. Hey.
No friends left. Everyone thinks I'm crazy, but this movie comes out October 11th. So please see it. And yeah.
I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I really am. Like I was reading about it, the plot and everything, and it definitely sounds great.
You have to stick with it. Like I'll be the first one to tell you, it starts very PG and a little bit slow. I promise you there's a payoff. Just hang in there. Like promise. Good.
Okay. Yeah. I promise I will stay with it until the very end. Good.
All right. And we gotta come back just for like 5 minutes once you watch this, so we can do a tag to this.
Yes,
We'll
definitely,
okay.
definitely.
Okay.
We'll leave Philly and Jersey out.
Yeah. Well, no, let's do it off the camera when we're not recording here. I'm sorry, everybody. Yeah. Oh my God. Unless you're an East Coast. If you're an East Coaster, what's up? Hey.
Right, exactly. So
we'll go to Dino's, we'll talk about, yeah, it'll be fine. Okay. All right.
So without giving too much away, was there any scene that you loved filming the most in Frost?
No. It's, to be honest, it was when you see the movie, you'll see the whole thing's super morbid. It's really physically intense. It's really psychologically fucks with you. It was in real life that way too. Like, I was a hormonal mess, super pregnant. I was trying to do my scream queen thing and really get into like the dark shit, but the baby was like kicking or freaking out, or her heart rate was too hard. So the whole thing honestly was just like, I love my team. I loved making a movie itself, but like, as far as, was it fun or was there a favorite scene? No. Wow. It's so dark.
Wow. Okay.
all kind of traumatic, and it makes for a fucking really cool movie. But yeah, we were all in COVID. Like, we were walking on the eggshells from that. Walking on the eggshells, trying not to like send the pregnant lady into labor, or hurt the fetus, or it would a mess. Jeez. It's like you get James Colin Presic and Brandon Slagle, who's the director, and Robert Thompson, who does a lot of our scripts, and then Cleopatra. You throw them all into, like, they've been sitting around too long waiting for COVID to be over and just like spewing, and so there was just this big burst of creative energy. And so again, like, filmmaking gold, but really crazy and ambitious, and an intense shoot. We had hail. We filmed in actual snow on the top of a mountain. Wow. Yeah, it was intense. So
yeah, because I was gonna ask that, like, you actually filmed on the mountains, right?
Yes. Wow. Yes. We were in the mountains north of Los Angeles, and we had everything weather-wise. It was 80 degrees one day. We had hail the next day, size of golf balls. It was like intense. Even like, we shot 12-hour days, so sometimes even within the same day, like, the weather completely changed. My poor DP, Kelton, who's amazing, was having to like constantly relight the scene, because one second we had an actual storm, and the next second, it was sunny and beautiful out. What a mess. So
oh my God, that definitely sounds like it.
Yeah, it was an adventure for sure. Yeah.
Wow. And I have to ask this, like, being without being a pregnant, like, if you were stuck in that, like, if you were stuck in the mountains during a storm, what would you do to get out of it?
Well, my phone is notorious for being dead, and I never have any service, and I have no sense of direction whatsoever. So my ass would be dead. For sure. We're not even going to pretend and be like, oh, I'd fight. No. You know how the blonde chick usually dies first? Nope. Zero hope. Definitely not. How about you? What would you do?
Oh man, I don't even know. Like, I think I don't know. Like, I would have to try to use my phone to guide me, but if you're stuck in the mountains, your phone probably isn't even going to work. So you're just going to have to wing it and try to find, like, a road or some house or some phone, or that's really hard.
And see how they do it.
Yes, definitely. And so I wanted to ask this, like, you and Vernon Wells, you two are like the main cast for the film, and like, how was it interacting with him?
He's absolutely wonderful. So I've known Vernon for a long time now. We used to do conventions, signings together.
Yeah.
And like, as you can see, I'm like a big personality. So
Yeah,
whether he liked it or not, we were going to talk. And he totally, was like, at first with me, and then thought I was hilarious. And so then we started putting like our booths together.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and yeah, we totally got along great. So we had really great chemistry for a long time, but we did a ton of the same movies together, but it was always like one scene here or there, like a couple of lines, and he'd come in for a cameo or I'd come in for a cameo, and we never really got to spend any time on camera, like on something meaty together.
Mm-hmm.
So that was part of the appeal, was getting to do this, where it really just for the most of the movie, it really just is me and him, and playing off of each other. And he really rose to the occasion. I don't think people really give him enough opportunity to do what he does well, and he's a phenomenal actor, and so I hope people will see this and give him some more to do in a lot of his films, because I think they don't take full advantage of what he can do, and he's great in this.
Oh wow. Like last week I actually interviewed James Cullen. Like I had him on here. Like he's another guy that's awesome too.
He's a character too. Yeah, but a whole bunch of us weirdos, you put it together, it turns into something. Yeah. He's great. Like, that's the cool thing about this team is like everybody, it was a very small team, but everybody works on like big blockbusters. Like he had just come off of like a Mel Gibson movie or something, and then put together this. So same thing for Brandon. Brandon has a bunch of I guess I have a couple as well, but like they have a bunch of big action movies that they shot in Thailand that are about to come out too. So it was these people who all started with like as indie horror kids and like have a lot of heart and creativity, and then have like gone on to do some bigger stuff now. And everybody was forced during COVID to kind of like rein it in and come back to your low budget, tiny contained indie roots. And a lot of the big studios didn't know what to do with that, right? Like they're like, how do we make a show? How do we make a movie? And but they kind of like were squandering. But us, like we all kind of knew how to think outside the box. And so this movie, even though it was shot within COVID means and contained on purpose, it holds up against movies that were not done during COVID times. It just feels very claustrophobic, but it's a full, complete story without involving COVID at all. And so Bresic, excuse me, I call him Bresic. James Cullen Bresic is really, really great for that. He's super, super creative, and really brilliantly twisted, I would say. And so, we've been wanting to work together for a long time, and this kind of forced us to go up with something fun. And he's a good guy.
Sweet, nice. Well, it's Halloween season, and I have to ask you this: like, what are some horror films you like to watch during Halloween season?
What's weird? Like during Halloween season, I don't watch horror movies. Is that weird? Because like my whole life, the whole year is horror.
You're right.
So
You're absolutely right.
Weird about like spooky season, because I kind of feel like everyone else turns into a poser. You know what I mean? Like suddenly, oh, it's October. All of a sudden, you're a big horror fan, huh?
I know exactly, right?
Spooky stuff, don't you? No,
yes,
you don't.
Exactly. Exactly. You're absolutely right about that. I mean, that's like me. I watch horror all year round.
I know you do. Yeah.
And I do the same thing. Like when I'm at work and people in work are like, "Oh, it's Halloween season. I'm gonna watch a horror movie," and I'm like, "Really? You only watch it during Halloween season?"
Right. You don't know. You don't know. Yeah. So I'll be watching, Disney. I'm going to a Disney event Friday to celebrate their Hocus Pocus release. That's what it's spooky season. Yeah, right. It still counts. It counts.
Yeah.
But no, I'm doing a lot of work during Halloween season. Again, lots and lots of it. Even though I'm promoting the movie right now, I usually end up doing a lot of interviews during that, and conventions and appearances and things of that sort. So I'll be working mostly and quietly judging you all about your involvement in our little spooky genre here, and then usually November. Honestly, on all serious note,
Mhm.
November and December tend to have really great movie releases because a lot of the studios will pack their Halloween season release
Yeah.
into this. So you get a lot of big fun studio blockbuster horror movies, but then all those like great indie gems that didn't get a slot during October because because Hocus Pocus came out. Those get slated for just a few weeks later. So if you kind of watch stuff in November and December, you can find some really great gems. On that note, my movie comes out next week in October.
and, and Frost will be available on all streaming platforms. And
yes. It'll be on the VOD. I haven't gotten the full list yet, but when we do our little pickup here, I will make sure they're available for you. It will be on all the major VOD. We have a Blu-ray release, which is what they're really encouraging me to promote. It comes with a bonus CD soundtrack. And so if you are into the extras, that's kind of fun. Cleopatra Records is the financier, the distributor. They also have, obviously access to great music. So we have some really awesome musicians who lent themselves to the soundtrack. It's probably gonna mess with the background, but yeah, it did. Yeah. Oh.
Here it is. I just saw it. Here it is.
Yeah.
I see.
I'm learning how to use Zoom. So the vinyl, as you saw in between my my disappearing act, is available now. So you can get the soundtrack on vinyl, which is really actually cool for an indie film. That's available now, and then everything else comes out October 11th.
Sweet. Well, I know our time limit is up for the and you're absolutely fun. Like I love talking to you. You're funny. You're fun.
I could definitely do another half hour with you. This was crazy fun. So much fun. But that's the thing. East Coast, we kind of get each other. There's just
exactly.
I always figure that out because I live in Los Angeles and I have for about a decade, and immediately people you always vibe with are the East Coasters because there's just an energy that we have. It makes it really, I don't know, weird for everyone else actually. But but yeah, I hope to come back and talk to you. I'm gonna make sure that Cleopatra sends you the screener so you can check it out and just see how weird we really all are. And then we'll do another commentary. And I hope the rest of you who are watching this will check out the movie and then come find me on social media. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Devanny Pinn, and I love chatting movies. I love chatting horror, as this guy knows because we've been in touch.
Definitely.
So I would love to see you catch the film and then tell me your thoughts on it. If you love it, please tell everyone, including me. If you hate it and I offended you, think we're all nuts, tell everyone you know, including me. It's perfectly fine. And I hope that you have a great spooky season. And I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you. This has been so much fun. Thanks again for coming on the show, and everyone watch Frost.
Yay. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.